Hello, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys doing well. And in my series about the MBTI, we're doing a deep dive into the each one of the MBTI personalities out there. And I try to actually upload a couple of videos. I recorded an audio first of all for ESTJ, but because of the length of the audio, I was not actually able to edit it into a video. So that's still something I'm working on. I'm guessing I have to get like some kind of audio editor that can cut it in half, and that way I can upload. Actually, to do that, and I also uploaded a video on the Entj, which was actually a pretty decent video, except because of some copyrighted materials, it got taken down. So all you guys have now is the ISTJ, right? Anyway, today we're going to look at the ENTJ. ENTJ is a very, very interesting one. The ENTJ is known as the CEO, and they usually are CEOs, or they're very, very good at becoming CEOs, and they're very, very good at making money. Actually, they did some, looked at some statistics, which MBTI types of personalities are best at making money. And they found out that the ENTJ is actually the top one. So ENTJs are very, very good at getting money because they're so goal-oriented. And generally speaking, the ENTJ does care a lot about money as well. They will use money as a barometer for their success. So until they get a lot of money, they will not consider themselves to be successful. And this is the opposite of the ESTJ. The ESTJ is not going to use necessarily money as a barometer, although they may seek money, obviously, because it's just a form of power. But what the ESTJ is trying to get is actual, absolute, raw power. Think Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein didn't care about whether he had money or he didn't, which he did. But I mean, that's besides the point. His worry was more about being powerful and being seen as a leader, an actual commander, an actual leader of his nation until he died. So anyway, so that's the difference between the ESTJ and the ENTJ. A lot of people like to talk about this comparison between the ESTJ and the ENTJ. ENTJ is very money focused. Think CEO. Think Lord Sugar. In the UK, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but just like a typical businessman sort of CEO mentality, I want to make as much money. I made the first million, now I want 2, now I want 3, now I want 4, okay? They love money. And because of this reason, a lot of people don't like ENTJs. Actually, a lot of people hate ENTJs, including me. As an ESTJ, I do not like ENTJs. I have many negative things to say about the ENTJ, but that's my personal way of looking at this character type. But I'm going to try to be fair and objective as much as I can. But personally speaking, I would say I see these guys as a bunch of cocksuckers. This is my opinion of them. They love capitalism, absolute fucking sluts for capitalism. Like the ENTJ, if they had a god, it would be money, the dollar bill. Okay, they will get on their knees and they will suck on the capitalistic, proverbial capitalistic dick. Okay, so they love capitalism. They're absolute like if you think of a consumerist, that's the ENTJ. but in all fairness, they're particularly good at making money. They're very, very good at making money, and they will oftentimes be seen as leaders in this kind of milieu. If you think of like a CEO type of person, that alpha male that makes all the money, brings all the bank. That's the ENTJ. Now, the ESTJ is also seen as an alpha male, but more in a sort of leader of the community, leader of the society, sort of that very power-hungry powerful sort of alpha male. Not so much the I want to get as much money as possible, be productive, be competent. See, ENTJs worry a lot about being seen as competent, whilst the ESTJ does not necessarily care that much about competency, although they may very well be. They care more about power, being seen as powerful. Right. Nations, Germany. Actually, Germany is a ENTJ nation. Israel is an ENTJ nation. The UAE is an ENTJ nation. So you think about Dubai, for example, extreme capitalism. Capitalism gone completely fucking haywire. You go to Dubai, for example, just capitalism, 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 capitalism. It's all like this obsession with money, right? And that's all that people do in Dubai, actually. Funny thing, in Dubai, some of the jobs can actually make you a lot of money. Like some of the salaries that they offer, like some people can make like $4,000 a month, very easy. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of obsession with money in Dubai, and it's a tax haven, so it attracts a lot of capitalistic kind of people that just want to do business because they don't want to pay taxes, right? So they'll go to Dubai anyway. And of course, Germany. Germany is a very good example. ENTJ nation all the way. Guys, who invented capitalism? Germans invented capitalism. Guys, who invented capitalism? Germans invented capitalism, right? It's a capitalistic nation. They care a lot about consumerism and capitalism and money. That's all they care about. And people don't like them, rightfully so. Anyhow, politics, right? So these these jackasses can be very annoying. They're the type of people, I don't know how to describe these people. If they're successful, they're successful. As CEOs will make a lot of money, but oftentimes they lie. They're very narcissistic. The ENTJ is very narcissistic. And what narcissists do is whenever they're confronted with the reality that they don't like, which is a shameful reality, they will deny the reality and pretend something else. They will lie. So oftentimes you will meet an ENTJ, very slimy, sleazy type of guy, and comes to you and says, bro, man, I fucking started 3 companies yesterday, man. You know what I mean? I got 3 companies, man. You know what I mean? And I did this, and I flew, and I went to fucking Bermuda Triangle, and I survived. There's kind of people that lie sort of to make themselves seem better in front of other people. Yeah, that's ENTJ. Okay, you guys, go to Berlin. You want to meet ENTJs? You want to study ENTJs? You want to meet and understand what is an ENTJ? Go to Berlin. Trust me. Every dude you're gonna meet there is gonna be like, bro, I just started a company yesterday, and I'm working on this. I've got some hedge funds, and I got and I'm doing Bitcoin, and you know what I mean. Right. So let's get to the thick of it. Right. So we have a very interesting stack here. We got extroverted thinking, TE, NI, introverted intuition, SE, extroverted sensing, and FI, introverted feeling. Very interesting because you see a similarity with the ESTJ, but instead of being TESI, it's TENI. So it's more of you see the problem solving being coupled with intuition rather than memory or introverted sensation, right? All right, so let's look at all the details of the stack. We got, first of all, we got the TE, or the extroverted thinking. So that's basically the problem solving, just like the ESTJ. Basically, they're functioning mainly with problem solving. The first things they fucking do, these are total machines, total robots. Think, I will be back, Terminator, I mean? So, yeah, you could say ENTJ is a money-making machine. ESTJ is a power-hungry machine. That's the only difference. Okay, and yeah. So TE is the first one: problem-solving, accomplishments, getting things done. So it's all geared towards problem-solving, extroverted thinking, thinking about extroverted things, thinking about things that are out there in the world. How to get these things done. I want something. How do I get it? oftentimes a lot of these ENTJs tend to be very highly Machiavellian. Now, I know you guys probably heard about the dark triad, and you probably know something about like narcissism and psychopathy and all these things. And ENTJs will oftentimes embody some pretty decent level of Machiavellianism as well. Not just that they're narcissistic, they may also be quite Machiavellian. And Machiavellianism can be summed up as the ends justify the means. So the ENTJ is going to think, I don't care how I'm going to get from A to Z. I just want to get from A to Z. Okay. So, excuse me. So we're just going to get it done. We're going to get from A to Z and we're going to do it. You know, I don't care what the cost is. I don't care what you have to do. And they're not particularly preoccupied with morality at all. So a lot of people just look at them and think, yeah, this guy's an asshole, doesn't give a shit about anything. So that can be a problem. So oftentimes the ENTJ will be seen or embody some of the features of Machiavellianism, which, by the way, guys, Machiavellianism is not considered to be a personality disorder, even in psychiatry, psychology. So Machiavellianism is not, like I said, a personality disorder. It's just a personality. Right, so we talked about TE. So just like the ECJ, first thing they're gonna do is try to solve the problems. They got a bunch of problems, they're gonna solve them. They want to accomplish things. They want to get something. They want to get that prize. They want to get whatever resources, something. They're gonna do it. Okay. Then it's gonna be coupled with NI, introverted intuition. That's very interesting. So instead of the SI, which is like a memory bank of all the experiences that the ESTJ can draw back on, especially sensory experiences. With the ENTJ, it's actually NI, so it's introverted intuition, and it's more like what if thinking. What if I did this? Very theoretical, sort of like, what if I did this? What if I did this? Let me try this. And this is the reason why this sort of high degree of intuition, and I guess you could say scientific thinking, is the reason why they're so successful at becoming CEOs and very successful at making money. Because, as CEOs, they're going to think, well, I'm trying to get money, right? So their intuition going to kick in. They're going to like, what if I did this? Let me try this. Imagine if I did this. What if this? What if that? And they're going to keep trying all these scientific things until they start to make money, until they succeed. And they probably will. Actually, I used to know a guy who was an ENTJ. He was a very, very well accomplished CEO that worked in Dubai and had like multiple, companies. Like a call center, he was managing these call centers and stuff, and he owned the company. He was the CEO of the company, and just perfectly, ENTJ, like very, very good at making money. But anyway, I'm not going to go into the details. Maybe it's just a little bit too inappropriate. So the third function would be the SE, or the extroverted sensing. That would be extroverted, sensations, to seek physical sensations, very tactile, sort of get out there in the world, very earthy, very sportsy, maybe even sexual. Think of it like a jock, that very jockey type of behavior or mentality. Now, of course, the ultimate jock would, of course, be an ESTP, because the ESTP has SE is the first function. There's a lot of SE going on with the ESTP. So there usually be like the Chad, sort of the jock, the football player type of dude, that gets all the chicks. Now the ENTJ, obviously, because the SE is the third function, it's not that high. So they will be a little bit give the impression of being a little bit jockey, but not that much. It's more like sort of think of a nerdy guy who is trying to be a jock. Maybe something like that, like somebody who's kind of nerdy, but they can sort of pretend to be a little bit jockey. So, you might see ENTJs, dressing pretty nice and decent color combinations, and to go out there, and you might see them in like parties and dancing, and with women and stuff like that. They will definitely do those things once in a while. You know what I mean? Because of the SE, right? They're not necessarily just going to be at home, working on making money. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty sad life to be an ENTJ, to be honest. These are absolute existentialists. I don't know if you guys know anything about the philosophy of existentialism. While the ESTJ is a pragmatist, uh, not just a pragmatist, somebody who is practical. So they're trying, their entire philosophy in life is to learn as many useful things, practical things, so that they can get shit done, right? The ENTJ is an existentialist. So, um, what is existential? It's like they see life as some kind of adventure, not so much adventure, but like a journey of self discovery or something like that. So everything they believe is like, I'm gonna make a bunch of decisions, and I'm gonna be happy with those decisions, and I'm gonna just exist. So they this philosophy is basically that you create your own happiness, you create your own existence, you create your own meaning of life. This meaning of life is not coming from the outside; it's coming from the inside. Maybe you can call it also this, Adlerian psychology. That's part of this whole existentialist shtick, so to speak. Whilst the ESTJ is a little bit more, I don't know, serious and pragmatic, and worried more about being practical and pragmatic, because they're trying to get shit done, because they want to be successful in life, and just achieve their goals in life. You can say that the ENTJ is almost on a perpetual journey of self-discovery. Who am I? What am I? And that's what it is, right? Yeah. So after the SE, then we have the FI. The FI is the last function, the fourth function. These are the internal feelings and principles. So just like the ESTJ, they have FI as the fourth function. And of course, because of this reason, they are going to be seen as particularly unfeeling, maybe a bit callous, like the impression of being an asshole that doesn't give a shit about anyone else. That's generally the impression people are going to get of the NTJ. It does help them to become CEOs, because in that environment, you can't be like, you're not going to put like a you're not going to put like an INFP in a business company and be like, hey, go get it, man. You know what I mean? No, of course not. You put an INFP, which has loads of FI, they're going to get brutalized, eaten alive in that sort of environment. You know what I mean? So, guys, if you want a really good example of an ENTJ, I don't know if you guys watched this movie, came out of maybe like 8 years ago, maybe more actually. The Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio. Very amazing, interesting movie. Watch it if you haven't watched it. I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched it. And that's an ENTJ. That's basically the environment of an ENTJ. That's the life of an ENTJ. They go to these companies, these private companies, and they just start making money, 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 money. And all they care about is being rich. They just want to be rich and have a lot of money. All right, guys. I think as an ESTJ, I this is one of the aspects that I dislike about the ENTJ, is this love and focus on money. I think that the ENTJ needs to acquire the wisdom to understand that money is not everything. And I don't mean to say this in a corny sort of sappy kind of way. Obviously, the ESTJ understands that money is important. You cannot get anything done if you got no money. But this, I think, the over focus that the ENTJ has on money, and that the money is like the most important thing in their life, in my opinion, is quite problematic. You know, And yeah. So anyway, that was the ENTJ. So we got a TENISEFI. It's think of it as an extroverted version of a schizoid, an extroverted version of an INTJ, schizoid, and that's who they are. And of course, if you watch that series, Breaking Bad, Walter White, the protagonist, he starts off in the beginning as an INTJ. He starts off as an INTJ, and then from that schizoid INTJ state, he decides to become a little bit more extroverted, which you can do, by the way. You can switch the letters, even consciously, if you make a decision to, yeah. And yeah, so he was an INTJ in the beginning of the series, and then he broke bad, okay, Breaking Bad, and then he became an ENTJ. And when he became an ENTJ, he started to use all that chemistry knowledge to make money, to make profit, and he made a lot of money. Right, that's what the entire series was all about. Definitely recommend you guys watch Breaking Bad if you haven't. Right, I don't want to like spoil everything for you, but that's just some of the major things. Guys, you're gonna find this out in the trailer anyway, so it's not like I mean, it's not like I'm telling you something that's gonna spoil the entire thing, right? All right, so that was the ENTJ. He's the CEO. He's a total, these are particular annoying fucking jerks, especially the ones that are not successful. Especially like okay, if you get an ENTJ who is actually accomplished and successful and is managing a bunch of companies and has loads and loads of money, that's probably fine. You can probably deal with that person. But when you have a fucking ENTJ that works in a cafe as a server, oh man, the shitty attitude you're gonna get from that fucking person, it's absolutely annoying. It's absolutely intolerable. They think they're literally the shit. They think they're like the best thing that ever fucking happened in this world. And they have this vibe of like overconfidence, not confidence. I would say that, in my honest opinion, I think the ESTJ and especially the ESTP are confident, right? Just CONFIDENT, right? Confident. The ENTJ is overconfident. They are confident when they don't have anything to back it up. Okay, so the level of confidence that they have is not really matching what is happening in the reality. So they might, it's like somebody, I talked about narcissism, right? It's just like belief that they are something which, when you probe it, when you look at it more realistically, you realize, hey, actually this person, what I mean? It's like he's overcompensating for something, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You're a pretty smart guy. Like, I don't think you're stupid, but you're not like a fucking genius, man. I don't think you're like, I don't know who, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. And yeah, so I think ENTJs can definitely be seen as a bunch of jackasses. They can be quite annoying, because of the high level, well, I guess a decent level of SE. They can be quite fun to be around. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. And yeah, I want to mention something else, which is you guys remember when I showed you guys the schizoid verve spectrum or continuum? You can always refer back to it if you want to, and the ENTJ would be 25%, right? So they would have 25% verve or 25% life force. For example, you can compare that with I don't know, ESTJ would be like 75%, and I think ESTP would be like 87.25% or something like that. So this just gives you an idea of what kind of person this is, and yeah. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you found that interesting, please let me know. if you are an ENTJ, let me know in the comment section if you want or are interested in hearing an analysis or seeing an analysis of some specific personality that you're interested in. Let me know. I will definitely take that into consideration, and you know whatever you have to say about this, let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and comment, of course, and I will see you guys in the next one.